Hello Griffins, we'd like to share with you our Spring 1 termly overview, and for English this term we're going to be looking at a text called Stone Age Boy. All children must be able to recall and summarise information from a text. Most children should retrieve and record information from a text, and some children could make and justify inferences using evidence from the text. That is on the reading side of things. On the writing side of things, it's a little bit more tricky this term. So all children must use noun phrasings including adjectives to create a setting description. Most children should use emotive language and first person pronouns to explore feelings, and some children could use speech in my writing to explore a conversation. I want to focus on speech at the moment because again, this is where children find things difficult and there's quite a few rules that apply to speech. So for example, on the board here I've got two speech bubbles. I love Stone Age Boy from this person. Which is your favourite part from this person? So I've now turned it into a written form of speech. So I definitely need my inverted commas here. They used to call it 66 and 99. So I would have open the speech. I love Stone Age Boy. Your punctuation needs to go inside the closing of your speech, and then you have your reporting clause on the end, exclaimed Mrs. White. So if I'm taking this part of the speech and turning it into writing, I have, you open your speech. Which part is your favourite? And of course that is a question, so we will need a question mark in, and then the closing of your inverted comma, again with your punctuation inside your speech, and then your reporting clause, answered Miss Badland. Full stop. Now, again with speech, we have new line, new speaker. So whoever is speaking next, you would start a brand new line here. If the speech continued, you would, of course, continuing to write it if it was Miss Badland. I think that covers most things on speech.
Right, so in maths for Spring 1, we'll be looking at multiplication and division and continuing on our learning by looking at knowing our 2 and 5 and 10 times tables, which we should have carried on from year 2. And then children should multiply a 2-digit number by a 1-digit number using the formal method with the column method. And then all children could multiply a 2-digit number by a 1-digit number using exchange. Then later on in Spring 1, we'll be looking at length and perimeter. So all children must be able to measure in centimetres, millimetres and metres. To be able to do this, we will be using a ruler. And for example, we've got 2 lines on the board. We need to make sure our little dash for millimetres starts at the start of the line, and we need to see how far it goes, and we need to read the measurement off. So for this one, it's 270 plus 1, 2, 3. So that's 273 millimetres. And we move on to the one below and we do it in centimetres. We need to make sure our ruler is the other way, it reads centimetres on our ruler. And we'll be making sure that our little dash starts at the start of the line, and we'll be moving on, and we can see that that says 10 centimetres. So then all children should add and subtract lengths measurements and convert centimetres into millimetres and vice versa. So moving down to the bottom, we've got 1 centimetre equals 10 millimetres. So what we need to do is we need to take the 1 centimetre and we need to times it by 10 to make it 10 times bigger. So using our 10 times table, we do 1 times 10, which is 10, and then we need to add the measurement of millimetres onto the end. If we do it the opposite way round, so we're converting from millimetres into centimetres, we need to take the 10 and we need to make it 10 times smaller. So we're dividing it by 10. So how many 10s fit into 10? We have 1, so that would be 1 centimetre. And finally, moving on, all children could be able to use estimation. We've already looked at estimation throughout this term. but we'll be looking at it in relation to measurement. So if the numbers are 0, 1, 2, 3 or 4, then we need to round down to the nearest 10. If the numbers are 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9, we need to round up to the nearest 10. So these are 10 times tables, just to recap for our children. 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 and 100. If I take 17 centimetres, which is just exactly the same as having 17, but it's just in a measurement this time, we would look at how many we've got in our ones. So in our ones, we've got 7. So if you're looking at our rules above, 7, we know it needs to round up. So we need to round to the next available 10. So looking at our 17, the 2 that it falls between on the 10s is our 10 here and our 20. So if it's rounding up, we're going to round to the closest 10 after 17. So we're going to round to 20. So our estimation for that would be 20 centimetres. We need to always make sure we are writing the centimetres of the measurement on the end. Okay, Griffins, thank you and enjoy.